Good afternoon. Today's Tuesday. We will be discussing how to create billing instructions, service descriptions, rates, quantities from the Job Center, which is found in the Customer Center. One of the benefits of Eagle Eye is it will allow you to have service instructions for your operators that will show up on the mobile route sheet. So in this case, I came to 14 Orchard Plaza as my customer, clicked on 14 Orchard Plaza job, and then that opens up the Job Center. Job Center by default will come to the schedule. However, if you were just in a different tab, it'll open up in that tab. We go to the service instructions, and if we want to make sure we can put in service instructions, you've got 10 lines. These will wrap. So we can put in as many as we need. Cans, CGM for leaving. If no GM available, leave ticket. So we put those in, and then we're going to save those. And then we'll go look to see this is on Mondays and Fridays. So I'll go to Route Builder for Friday. And then I'm going to make sure that all instructions are checked. So here, so this is Friday coming up. I'm going to use my control find to look for 14 Orchard Lake. Make sure that that instruction box is checked. I could check it there. I could have checked it up here. But now we have that available. Now I'm going to go look at OR02. We'll view the mobile route. And then we can see all those instructions are shown for the operator. So by putting in the service instructions, the operator can see those and make sure that they're there. It is important, extremely important, if you do not have all instructions checked by default, that you either check it for the route or you check it by job. So in this case, you can check it by job as well. So make sure you have those. If you don't have those, then they will not show up on the route sheet for the operator. Those are instructions for your customer, for your operators based on your customer. If you had expiring instructions, so you want these to expire, and we'll put this in for 12/31/18. We'll say that supervisor will be checking during the holidays. A extra clean. Save that. These instructions will stick around. So now if we go look, go choose a different day. These instructions will all be there. Again, I've got all instructions checked. Double check that that is still on that route. If you're in Chrome, you can do a Control F. It'll pull right to that job. We've got it there. We can also see that there's an exclamation point, so that has expiring instructions as well as instructions. So we can see both of those that are there. Now I'll go here, choose OR02, and I'll view the mobile route. Scroll down, and now we can see both the instructions and the expiring instructions. So if we were to go look in January, these would be gone. All right. In the service description, so flipping over the service description is what inevitably will go in terms of billing. So you want to think about this differently. How do I want to get paid the easiest? And how, when I go to evaluate the billing, am I going to make sure that I understand what work we did? So in this case, we've got in here scheduled sweep, cans, and handpick. So I should know that when I'm doing this, that rate, the unit of measure, the billing class, and everything should match according to that. You want to make sure that you have the right service description, because this will flow through to your invoice line item if you do use the billing functionality. So make sure that this is correct. You can use a drop-down feature and choose from the service descriptions, which we highly recommend. If you let your people type them in, then you'll have the same service description listed 10 different ways. So you should just pull from the service description so you stay consistent, and that's where you would put it. It shows up here on the service description, and then when you go to the billing side of it, so if I pull up my monthlies for November, we're going to see the service description show up here, so it gives you a good evaluation of what's supposed to be done. You can see the service description shows up in the billing side, and then from the route record, we go look at OR02, and we'll look at Saturdays. You'll see the service description here. Now you can change it in route record. You can change it in route builder. So you right click in route builder. You can see the service description, so we can go change it here. Let's say it's not a scheduled sweep, it's a cleanup. And we're going to make this hourly with a minimum quantity of 4, and we're going to charge them $150 per hour. Now, if I come back to the route record and I choose this route record again, click get record, it's going to update, oops, hold on here, let me go to the right day. This is December 14th. Got to go to the right day to get that. December 14th, OR02. Then we'll see that particular job has been updated. Oops, Food Town on 01. You can update the service description from the route builder, from the job center, from route record, and from the job view. You can update those all from those spots. You want to make sure that the rate corresponds with the work that you're doing. So in this case, we want to make sure that the rate corresponds with the service description. If we were doing one-time work or different work than routine, make sure that your rate corresponds with your description and your unit of measure. You can click from the drop-down, or you can input the rates. It is your choice. Make sure that your unit of measure matches. So in this case, this is a fixed unit of measure, and your fixed units of measure or variable units of measure come from your admin section, and they come from here. And there's two kinds. There's a variable and a fixed. So a quantity driven, such as an hour, or you can have a fixed, like a cycle. So make sure you understand what unit of measure you're putting in according to the billing rate. So if it's $35 per hour, make sure that this would be an hour or variable type unit of measure versus a $35 per sweep, which is a fixed dollar amount. If you had multiple sweeps, then that would not work in this fixed one. Fixed units of measure are always multiplied by 1. So if you are trying to do a variable unit of measure, make sure that the unit of measure associated with the job is quantity driven. Okay. The quantity associated with this is found in the route record. So the route record quantity will be either based off of time or some other means. So if it's yards of debris, you want to make sure that your quantity is multiplied correctly. So in these examples, they're all fixed units of measure. We were to go try and find a quantity-driven one. You want to make sure that's per sweep. This is an hourly. So this one here is a 4-hour minimum. There isn't any time in here, but if we were to put time in, I could say 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and I want to save that. That's going to change my quantity to 12, which matches the time I was there, and then creates the invoice amount. So you can see this in the route record to make sure that it's appropriate before you move on. So the quantity is generated based off of your unit of measure, and all this starts in the billing section in the job center. Make sure that you have a correct variable or fixed unit of measure to understand how the rate will be multiplied to get your quantity. Again, for all fixed units of measure, your quantity is 1, and that will give you the total, so it's always multiplied by 1. So that's all we have for today. Talked about service instructions. Service instructions are for your operators. They will show up in the route sheet under instructions or expiring instructions. Make sure that in the route builder, you either default to have all instructions checked, or you check off the instructions before you dispatch. Then we discuss service descriptions, which is in the billing tab. And the importance of this is that it should help internally to make sure that the work that was scheduled is the work that was completed. And then at billing, you can review to make sure that the work scheduled was completed and that now we're billing out correctly. And the unit measure of a fixed or variable amount affects the rate, and that will come in under route record. And your variable ones will have quantities 1 or greater. Your fixed amounts are always multiplied by 1 based off per sweep, per cycle, per day, those types of events. You can never take a fixed unit of measure and multiply it more than 1. The system will not allow you to have a quantity greater than 1. So, thank you for attending today. This will be saved in Eagle Eye Tracking on the support page. It is also available with the FAQ videos link. So if you click on the link above your user, you'll be able to view these videos in the future as well. Have a great day, and we look forward to having you next Tuesday.